Hey everybody, WhySoWookie here. In this video, we're going to be going over the new community package article that was recently released. More specifically, the console enhanced graphic options that should be coming soon. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do, consider liking and subscribing to see more. So in the article, they go over various different things such as map selection and why they can't add that to most regions and areas. They go over server status, they go over botch ratios and MMR ratings, they go over changes that have been considered to ranked, and they also go over the console enhanced graphics options, which is going to be the focal point of this video. And this is what they have to say about this. It's been quite a while since we discussed enhanced graphic options on console. We're aware that many of you are disappointed that after almost 2 years you're still unable to take advantage of a higher spec console hardware. To be fair, I am quite disappointed, and I'm hoping it comes pretty soon. It's still early to announce a specific release timing, but since we are getting close to finishing development on enhanced graphic options, we wanted to share as much information as possible through this letter. First, they talk about stability issues and delays in development. They say, initially designed for the PC platform, PUBG Battlegrounds was experienced stability issues since its console launch. Until recently, we saw some periods of increased crashing, hitches, desync and graphic loading issues that would sound familiar to those who played PUBG Battlegrounds on the console. Due to the recent surge in console crash cases, we put a significant amount of dev resources into further addressing performance issues. Stability issues are usually more severe on low spec consoles because they have less memory available. When we release new content and features through updates, memory use increases. This also applies when introducing enhanced graphic options that would require higher device performance, potentially worsening stability issues. Another reason for the delays providing enhanced graphic options was that we needed support from platform holders to help distinguish between the older PS4, Xbox One and S, and newer consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X. Unfortunately, despite our collaboration with platform holders, we faced several additional technical issues that caused more delays in development. However, with the help of the console platform partners, we successfully solved the problems and were able to advance the development, so they've made some good progress. We are committed to introducing graphic enhancement options without compromising stability, but please understand these options may not be supported on all devices as there will be potentially stability risks. What are they targeting for the level of graphics? Our target is to create an environment where users with higher spec console devices can play PUBG with a steady performance of 60 FPS at higher resolutions. We're also planning to improve anti-aliasing from the current FXAA, fast approximate anti-aliasing, to TAA, temporal anti-aliasing, which will soften the sharper edges you see on objects while playing. That being said, differences in visual performance will exist on various consoles, and some devices might not see any difference compared to the previous generation. In addition, we have difficulties making the best out of the capabilities of the current gen consoles since their development aims to preserve backwards compatibility. Thus, newer consoles will share the same system builds as the older ones, so we're going to be in the direction of offering the best possible graphics options optimized for individual console models rather than providing the same level of graphical improvements to all current generation devices. Basically, to break it down, currently, if you've got one of the newer consoles, either the PS5, the Xbox Series X, or even the Xbox One X, and I believe the PlayStation 4 Pro, you've got two options. You have frame rate priority or resolution priority. If you go for resolution priority, it targets a closer to 4K experience, not like native or anything, but upscaled, at 30 FPS. Or if you play frame rate priority, which is what most players do on PUBG, then you get 1080p 60 FPS. Now, the result of this is if you've got an Xbox Series X like myself and you play on a 4K screen, but you play the game in 1080p, a lot of the game can look a bit pixelated, especially in the distance. So what they're proposing is that each console will have its own set of options in terms of what it's going to do. So on the image we see here, you can see that there's 6 different options. You've got quad HDs in both the TA and FXAA. The quad HD could work in a few different ways. So a lot of people with the PS5, well, more the Xbox Series X for quad HD, might be playing on a monitor but it might only be a 1440p monitor, not a 4K monitor, so they could run it in quad HD at 60 FPS. There's full HD there as well, which is going to be for your last gen consoles or even the Series S. The Series S can also scale up to quad HD, but knowing PUBG, they'll probably limit it to 1080p anyway and just improve the anti-aliasing. And then you've got 4K up to 60 FPS. For the position that I'm sat in, for example, currently playing at 1080p 60 FPS, when this comes out, if they can, on the Xbox Series X and PS5, do a 4K at 60 FPS, then it's going to be a more visually pleasing game. Now, there are some drawbacks to this as well, which can be experienced on the PC. So, if you're playing the game at 1080p, moving objects in the distance, far distance, are a lot easier to spot. And the reason for that is because, say the character moving will be taking, you'll see it easier because the blob will cover more of the pixels, etc. So you catch the movement a lot easier. If you're playing in like a native 4K experience where the pixels are far more accurate, it's not just a blurry black blob in the distance until you zoom in on your scope, you might not catch the movement as much. So there's going to be, I'm sure that when these come out and there'll be loads of testing done, there'll be tactical advantages to using one or the other. Now, when you tend to play PC games, 4K 60 is quite high performance, 1080p 120, but they've not even mentioned 120, so 1080p 60 being more low performance. So in terms of like the thing I was mentioning about the pixel moving in the distance for easier spotting things, but also making the game look better, quad HD at 60 might actually be the sweet spot. So it's going to be looking better, but you're not necessarily going to suffer at those longer ranges because you have better hardware in a way. But it's really positive that they say that they're getting closer. They've not got a date yet on here, but it is getting closer. And it'll be interesting to see what exactly launches when it comes. They might only release a couple of modes at first for the PS5 and the Series X, and then the Series S may well get an update in the future, or they might do them all in one go. But I agree with the things that they say, that stability is key. They don't want to release these and then the stability goes to absolute garbage, because that's just going to make the situation worse. But yeah, that's the latest update on the console graphics, enhanced graphics options. Let me know what you think about this. Have you got an next-gen console? Have you been waiting 2 years to try and get some kind of improved performance out of PUBG like me? Or are you looking at getting a new console soon and coinciding it with this? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing to see more. And also, come and join up in the stream. We stream every Sunday right here on the WhySoWookie YouTube channel. It's Sunday evenings UK time. So drop by and say hi. Have a great day. Wookie out.